Bro, imagine growing up and being that kid. I can. Not a lot of people have liberal activist parents who then end up becoming conservative. So, a lot of conservatives, a lot of right leaning people, a lot of sane Americans can't relate to this experience. But, that could have easily been me. And while personally it never got this bad, I was never on the side of a road shouting about how you need to leave your hands off women's bodies. It was close to that. It was close. There are a lot of liberals who get a kick and feel like they're a good person, they're a responsible citizen for raising their kid to basically be an activist alongside them. It's really sick. Anyway, it's your boy Red Channels back at you with another video. Please give it a like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, consider subbing to me on Patreon if you want to monetarily support this channel. And let's dive right into the liberal insanity.
If you say anything remotely critical of what's going on in the U.S. and Border Patrol and Customs sees it on your phone, like, even if you don't think it's a big deal, like, you're just like, oh my God, like, what a loser, or like anything regarding the president, if they see it, they're gonna make your life a living hell trying to get into the U.S. You'll get in, but you're gonna be sitting in a room for a long time answering stupid questions. Letting you know right now.
Guys, look, like, I don't know what to do, but like, we all need to really, like, we need to organize. I don't know what to do, but we need to organize about this shit. Okay, because like, this is not okay. I feel like that's fucking obvious that it's not okay. And like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble necessarily. Like, I don't want to get caught before I can do some good, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I don't want to get in trouble. Like, slap me on the wrist, I don't give a shit. But like, if you imprison me for the rest of my life where I can't do any good, then what the fuck? So like, we need to like, help me, please. People, comment in Phoenix, Arizona. Please comment groups that I can participate in that can actually help make a fucking difference, okay? Because I don't know what to do, and I think that, we should just like, like, napalm government buildings until shit changes. I don't know. I don't know what to do, especially because like, I kind of live under a rock. I really fucking do, okay? I see enough to know that it's bad, and I don't know what to do. So please, somebody fucking tell me what to do, all right, so I can be helpful, because I'm so pissed, and I'm so sad, and I'm so disheartened, and I don't know what to do, and I just want everybody collectively to, like, on the same day, everybody just uprise and burn everything to the ground. That's what I want, okay? That's what I want. I want a group of people who know that this shit is not okay to get together, right, and put our phones in like fucking Faraday cages, that way they can't hear us while we're talking, so we can plan exactly what we should do, and we can go and do those things so we can affect some fucking change, because this is absurd.
Give me my husband back. Like, I just came and just took my husband from my house. Literally, I have not spoke to my husband in 2 days. I don't know where he's located. They told me he was in California. All the systems say he's in California, but he's not in California. He's in Louisiana, but I can't put money on his books, so I can't talk to him. And I can't contact anybody because they say he basically doesn't exist. And ICE has kidnapped my husband, and I literally have been waiting for ransom note. Like, how much do I need to pay you, Trump, in order to get my freaking husband back? Like, I have 2 kids. I have no job. I lost my job thanks to y'all letting our jobs go across seas. So I have no income, and I have 2 kids, and you took the only income out of my household, and you're detaining him in Louisiana. Give him back to me. I mean it. I need my husband back. I need him back. I've lost everything. I've lost all my family members. My parents are dead. My grandparents are dead. My sister's dead. My ex-husband's dead, and you just took my husband. Give him back.
Okay, first of all, lady, Democrats are the ones who let these jobs go overseas in the first place. This is not this administration's fault. Secondly, why did you marry an illegal immigrant? Like, why? What part of you thought this was a good idea? If any of this story is even true, which is questionable, but still, for real, like, you couldn't apply to some sort of visa program either. I'm pretty sure that's what the whole show 90 Day Fiancé is about. But why did you think it was a good idea to marry an illegal immigrant? Really? Why?
I spent the last 5 months preparing us to leave. My husband, he's not up for going anymore. He's more scared of the unknown than staying here. And me and my girls are trapped without him.
RFK Jr. just got on the news and said that adults can't have autism and adults only have Asperger's syndrome. He stated that he's never seen an adult with, quote, full-blown autism, and that only exists for children. He's not theoretically classifying us as Asperger's syndrome and autism. He is literally stating it on the news with his mouth. This is why low support needs autistics getting on the internet saying, I can do capitalism is not helpful, because he is literally stating, yeah, I know that they're not the autistic ones. These ones are the autistic ones. He's separating us, and you guys are buying into it. We can't buy into it. You have to be aware. You have to be aware of what he's doing. And if you're not familiar with the history of autism and Asperger's syndrome and what happened in Germany, you need to read about it. Like, we know that anybody attacking the autism community is an attack on everyone in the community because we're a one whole community, but he is not actually talking about everyone. Low support needs autistics need to recognize that this is not directly about us right now, and that we need to make a shift to better support the rest of our community. Because getting on the internet and going, I have a job, I have a family, I can pay taxes, is only going to make RFK Jr. turn and go, look, I told you, the adults only have Asperger's syndrome. None of these adults actually have autism. See, history's coming fast. We're in like the red fire danger zone. Like, we have surpassed like the niceties. We've surpassed the like little slow pieces of education. This conversation has been happening for a very long time. We're here. It's here. It's time. And I get it. We're all autistic and we all have different struggles and we all have different supports. And so not everything is going to happen perfectly. I get it, but we're all autistic. That's kind of the fucking point. So if you're someone who struggles to catch the cues or catch the undertones in speeches and things like that, you got to pair up with the people who do, the people who can see those things. If you're struggling, if you need the support of your community, find the people who match your opposite. So if you have a struggle here and they have a strength, you got to match up with those people. It's coming fast.
If you're a Democrat or a leftist visiting family this Easter, remember that the prayer before your family's meal is the only time that conservative and evangelical family members cannot interrupt you, which makes it the perfect time to remind them of just how un-Christ-like Donald Trump's illegal deportations of innocent immigrants to an El Salvadorian prison camp are. So I've written a sample prayer that you can use to do just that. Happy Easter, y'all. Heavenly Father, on this holy day, we gather to celebrate the resurrection of your Son, the victory of life over death, of mercy over cruelty, and of hope over fear. We thank you for the gift of family, for this meal, and for the blessings you've poured out on each of us. In a world that can feel broken and divided, we ask that you make us instruments of your peace. As we remember the love that Jesus poured out for all people, we lift up those who are suffering and afraid in this moment. Those who have been torn from their families and sent to dangerous places with no safety, no justice, and no hope. We remember especially those who have been deported not for wrongdoing, but through systems that have failed them. Mothers and fathers, sons and daughters sent back to countries where violence awaits them. Lord, you know their names, their stories, and their hearts. As we reflect today on the story of Jesus, who was himself once a child fleeing violence, a stranger with no place to lay his head, we lift up all those today who are seeking safety, dignity, and a better life. Surround them with your protection and bring comfort to families who are separated, especially those who have been torn apart unjustly. Help us remember that you call us to welcome the stranger, to care for the oppressed, and to love not only our neighbors, but also those the world has cast.
Trump lives rent-free in your head. Trump lives rent-free in liberals' minds. TDS, TDS.
Then how come every time Caroline Leavitt and Trump speak, they bring up Biden's name? It's so weird how they're obsessed. They just can't get enough of Biden. Talking about Jimmy Carter's death and has to bring up Biden. BDS, BDS.
This is a classic error in leftist, especially American leftist and liberal thinking, They present an accusation of hypocrisy followed up by a false equivalency. So this lady goes, "Oh, you're accusing us of having TDS? Well, actually, you have BDS. That's the real obsession that's going on here. Look at these examples that totally don't bear up to scrutiny. And never mind the fact that TDS has been a phrase during the first Trump presidency, when Hillary was the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party and not Biden, right? TDS has been a thing before BDS, so-called, ever was or ever even could be. What this lady's doing is a hallmark of leftist thought, and once you notice it, you won't be able to stop.
Well, this comment's just silly. The transgender community's not going door to door recruiting members. That's the Christians. Not sure how you got those two confused.
Okay, now let's read over real quick this comment that this liberal lady is responding to on TikTok. Most people don't care what people do until they try to push their lifestyle on others. That's what the comment says. And then this lady goes, "Well, Christians are the ones going door to door pushing their lifestyle on everyone else." Lady, last time I checked, you can just close the door when those Jehovah's Witnesses show up or those Mormons show up. You don't have to let them in. Unlike public bathrooms or women's sports, which are currently being invaded by members of the rainbow community. But this just relates back to what I was saying earlier. Accusation of hypocrisy. See, you hypocritical conservative Christians are the ones really doing this. Followed up by a false equivalency, which is equating door-to-door missionary work with any of the stuff going on regarding the transgender issue.
Stop. Stop calling CCOT a prison. We need to be calling a spade right now. They're putting 70, sometimes upwards of 70 people to a cell. They're feeding these men nothing but rice and beans. They will never see meat. They will never see vegetables ever again. They're never allowed to see sunlight. They're not allowed outside. They're not allowed to see their families. When they boast about the fact that no prisoner there is ever let out alive ever again, and they have a seemingly unlimited capacity for taking on new prisoners, let's be serious. That is not a prison. That is a concentration camp. Call it what it is.
Gotta love how these liberals are still seething over that El Salvadorian guy. He really cleaned up his country. El Salvador, which once boasted the highest murder rate on the planet across the globe, is now safer than many countries in Europe. Yes, this is true. All because he actually got rid of the filth and the riffraff which was running amok in his own country. And liberals are calling these detention centers concentration camps. Complete lunacy. I got to do a video on that guy. But seriously, liberals are pro-crime for that reason. They want an endless stream of displaced people coming in from Central and South America because they think that will get them new voters. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, sub to me on Patreon if you want to monetarily support this channel. And shout out to my 3 patrons, Tara, General Jack Ripper, and William.